stand on this mountain, I look down and see a world I was once underneath. I stand on this mountain and I look down, my mind knows more than it once knew. Then I knew, then I knew, then I knew, then I knew. Now you're here, you're here, you're there, now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found missing. Found missing. I climb down this mountain and I look around just to see that everyone used to be me. I climb down this mountain and I look around, my mind embracing more than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth. Now you're here, you're there, now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found missing. Found missing. I once was blind, but now I see the beauty of the world before me. Now you're there, now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Now you're here, you're there, now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found missing. Found missing. Found missing. Found missing.
Hey y'all, True Crime with Sunshine. I'm gonna bring you guys some missing kids tonight, today, whenever you may be watching this. This was sent to me by a very dear friend of mine who is a victim of my murder billboard in Tennessee corruption. So these missing people are all going to be missing people out of Tennessee. And I thought this was an interesting article, and I wanted to go ahead and bring this article to everybody. This is News Channel 2, ABC, Nashville, WKRN. Missing children from Tennessee reported since the start of 2022. Today's 8/31/2022, so this is just since the beginning of the year. Nashville, Tennessee, 50 children have been reported missing in Tennessee this year alone, have had their cases entered into the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's database. Several of those missing children in Tennessee. Do you recognize any of them? So I want to go through their posters. So this young lady is Marla Warwick. She's been missing since April 27th, 2022 out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Her date of birth is listed as September the 10th, 2005. She's 16 years old. She's female, biracial, hair color brown, eye color brown, 5'8", 160 pounds. Both photos are of Malia. Sorry, guys. She was last seen on April 27, 2022. Malia may travel to Chattanooga, Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia. She is biracial. Malia is black and white. When she was last seen, her hair was dyed red. So, guys, keep in mind her hair could be dyed any color. And it lists Rutherford County Sheriff's Office in Tennessee, 615-898-7770. Or, as always, guys, don't hesitate to call 911. And then we have Masadima Alonso, and I apologize if I mispronounced that name, missing since May 27, 2022, from Nashville, Tennessee. Date of birth June 6, 2005, 17 years old. She's a female, Hispanic. Hair color black, eye color brown, 4'11", 100 pounds. Was last seen on May 27, 2022. That is the only details. It says Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, 615-862-8600. Or call 911. Then we have Braden Bradfield, still missing, July 23rd, 2022, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. March 26, 2005, date of birth, age 17, male, white, light brown hair, eye color blue, 5'10", 130 pounds. Says both pictures are of Braden. He was last seen on July 23rd. So again, no details. Lawrenceburg Police Department, Tennessee, 931-762-2276. Or call 911. Litzy Corrales Garcia, missing February 28, 2022, Antioch, Tennessee. Antioch, Murfreesboro area. For those of y'all that are not familiar, Antioch, Murfreesboro, it's all kind of the same area. August 19th, 2005, date of birth 17, female, Hispanic, brown eyes, brown hair, 5'1", 137 pounds. No details. Nashville Metropolitan Police. And again, that's 615-862-8600 or call 911. You know, it's frustrating when they have no details on these, especially when it's underage kids. It's like, you know, you don't get the parents, no details. Then we have Hector Diaz Domingo, missing since January 20th, 2022, Smyrna, Tennessee. Smyrna, again, that's Murfreesboro, Antioch area. July 19th, 2004, date of birth. He's 18, male, Hispanic, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'10", 130 pounds. No details, and that's Nashville, 862-8600. This one's going to be as well. Missing May 4th, 2022, Nashville, Tennessee. Date of birth, January 11th, 2007. Age 15, female, Hispanic, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'2", 197 pounds. Guys, these missing kids. Again, like I said, Nashville Police, and I'm sorry, I think I didn't speak her name. Kimberly Esponza. Edwin Hernandez Gomez. Missing April 17, 2022, from Gallatin, Tennessee. Okay, Gallatin's going to be up I-65 north or the end of Rivergate area. April 24th, 2007, age now 15, male, Hispanic, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'1", 140 pounds. Again, no details. Gallatin Police Department, their number is 615-452-1313. Then we have Darius Jones Harden, missing February 16, 2022, Winchester, Tennessee. November 2nd, 2005, age 16, male, black, brown hair, brown eyes, 6 foot tall, 130 pounds. Says both pictures are him, no details. Franklin County Sheriff's Department, 931-962-0123. So I would say Franklin County, I'm not sure if Winchester, Bowling Green area. If I'm wrong, guys, somebody correct me in the comments on that. Again, we have Another Smyrna, Tennessee. Pedro Maldonado. March 18th, 2022. 17, male, Hispanic, black hair, brown eyes, 5'10", 160 pounds. No details. Smyrna Police Department, 615-459-6644. Jordan Sparks. He's missing from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Mount Juliet's right on the outside of Nashville. February 17, 2022. August 16, 2006. Date of birth, 16 years old. Male, white. Hair color, black. Eye color, black. I'm going to say that probably needs to be corrected. Height, 5'10", weight, 172 pounds. Again, no details. Wilson County Sheriff's Department, 615-444-1412. And then we have Dustin Swallow. He's been missing since June the 5th, 2022, Waverly, Tennessee. September 22, 2005, 16, male. He's white, brown hair, hazel eyes, 5'11", 150 pounds. No details. Humphreys County Sheriff's Department, 931-296-2301. So this is Waverly, Tennessee. So anybody in Cookeville area, around that area, be, on the lookout. And I'll post this link in the description because there's this link here where we have the more persons missing in Middle Tennessee. Tens of thousands of families across our country are searching missing cases. Such have spanned decades, and that's so true. So you have Christine Renee Wilson. Last contact, May 2018. Wilson was last seen with Henry Wilson. One of their cell phones last pinged off a tire on Highway 85, Allred and Wilder. She has a tattoo on her leg of a waterfall and a dream catcher. Columbia area, Scott Raymond. Rockalt, May 2010. Age 48, around 9 o'clock at night. Rockalt walked away from his home, hasn't been seen since. Typically wears blue jeans and prescription glasses. Franklin, Tennessee. So this is going to be around Cool Springs area too, guys. Geraldo Hernandez Acevio, and I apologize if I misspoke that, December 2019, age 35. Hernandez left his vehicle in the parking lot and left with a woman who's last seen with a bar in Nashville. His family believes he may be in the Memphis area. Cody James Anderson, last contact July 2021. Missing, age 30. Anderson was last seen leaving his home in a white 2014 Dodge Dart with Utah plates. He did not take his personal belongings, like his phone or his wallet. He had recently moved from the Utah area. Millersville. Okay, so this baby's been missing since May 2011, so you guys gotta keep in mind that this is not an infant. And I wish they had an age progressed. So Tennessee TBI, if y'all are listening, you should probably get an age progressed out on this child if there's not already one. And the list just keeps going, guys. It's crazy. And then this is what I wanted to show as well. So you have the unsolved cases, cold cases in Tennessee as well. And there's Facebook groups and there's other groups that are outside of this website. Let's see. I should be able to pull one of them up. And I mean, it's just mind-boggling how many missing and unsolved cases that there are in the state of Tennessee. And they have all of these great resources, and they have these private resources that reach out and try to help, but you have families that are just like begging for help that can't get, the help that they need. It's insane. It's heartbreaking. And you guys know, if you follow my channel and you watch, my What the Hell's Going On in Tennessee series, I kind of feels like this falls right in there. So I want to make sure that I do go ahead and bring up the murder billboard too. There's missing people on this murder billboard that we're still looking for. You know, and this is something that I always want to bring awareness to, because there's faces on this billboard where the families still don't have justice. You know, Dennis Ferrer did a great job by bringing this to the public, and I want to make sure that everybody sees the corruption in Tennessee, and not only that, the way that these families have been treated and that they have begged for help. But I am going to go ahead and play this video, guys. I'm going to mute out because I feel like it's important anytime I talk about the missing in Tennessee to include the murder billboard in the 13th district, because there really needs to be something done, guys. We really need to be a voice. And it's going to play this ad. So I'm going to mute out this ad and I'm going to rant for a minute about District 13. It's heartbreaking, and I've talked to several of the family members. I've been deep dove into each one of their cases as far as I can dive into them. Some of them, everything's been deleted on it, so you're not able to find a lot on the cases. But, I've done what I can to put my opinion and the facts out there. As far as my opinion, I mean as far as what should be done for these families and what's not getting done for these families. So like I said, guys, anytime I talk about missing in Tennessee, I always feel that it's important to include these families, because I do hold these families close to my heart.
Well, if you drive through Cookeville, you may see an unusual billboard. It contains the faces of murdered or missing people.
And behind every one of those faces, there are family members who tell us they are victims of inadequate investigations. Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier has the story in tonight's Ferrier Files Fight for Justice.
The cases are all different. They spread out over decades, but they have something in common. They have a connection to District Attorney Brian Dunaway and the accusation that he has failed them.
It was a tough meeting. It's not easy to talk about the worst thing that ever happened to your family.
I can't do it right now.
It's hard to hold back the tears and rage when you feel like you still don't have justice. The family of murder victim Courtney Cash was upset evidence was destroyed instead of collected. They also feel the DA's office was protecting a strong suspect in exchange for his testimony.
We walked in his office. We were not even asked to sit down. And he stood up and he said, Austin Johnson is a victim and a witness. End of story. And we were dismissed.
Ken Young says he was shown the talk to the hand gesture.
I've never been dismissed like that by anybody in my adult life. Ever.
Terry Sullivan died 13 years ago. No one has ever been charged, despite what the family believes is a very strong lead. The family says DA Dunaway gave them a completely unacceptable answer when they asked for a case update.
His response to us was, well, that happened before I was elected. That was it.
Brooke Jolly says that doesn't even make sense. It's not how responsibility works.
I've worked in a restaurant before, and if you're the server that comes in on second shift, you don't look at the tables of customers sitting there and say, well, I'm not going to do anything about these. They were here before my shift. And that's how he treats his job as district attorney.
Jason Rice was hit and killed by a speeding driver who left the scene of the accident. His mom, Rosemary Moore, says she begged DA Dunaway to charge the driver with something.
He wasn't legally drunk. There's really nothing we can do. It was a tragic accident. I said, well, if he was driving without a license, he left the scene. He said, well, leaving the scene is not a crime in the state of Tennessee, to leave the scene of an accident. And I said, well, he was speeding. He was reckless. If he would have been going the speed limit, my son would be alive, 30 miles an hour. He said, well, what do you want me to do, give him a speeding ticket? They said it was.
Monica Kaysen's brother, Brandon Hood, died of a drug overdose, but his watch, phone, gold necklace, and shoes were stolen from his body in the apartment where he died.
This one.
Kaysen wanted the apartment owner, convicted drug dealer Sarah Underwood, to be thoroughly questioned about the overdose and theft. Kaysen says she couldn't believe what an assistant DA told her.
She won't tell us anything. I said, well, she is a known dealer. You know this. Why won't you do something? Well, she's lawyered up. And
Kaysen asked, when does having a lawyer stop an investigation? She admits she was enraged and emotional and threatened to go after Underwood herself. She said that was met with sarcasm.
He looks at me and he says, well, Monica, I believe, he said, you've never been in trouble. I believe you're a good candidate for pretrial diversion. What does that say?
We asked District Attorney Bryant Dunaway for responses in each case. He told us he would consider responding if we allowed him to speak unedited. We told him he could respond in an email, and we would put the entire email response online with the story. There are
I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to say that if you haven't watched my videos on what the hell's going on in Tennessee, my Aaron Key videos, I have an interview with Lisa, which is Aaron's mother, and also there is a reply from Lisa in my comments on my video to this response from Dunaway. So I just want to put that out there that you guys might want to go read that, because she comments and replies to him that, you know, people helping is not hurting the families.
other stories in this room, every bit as heartbreaking, every bit as incomplete, every bit as soul-shattering. They are the stories behind the billboard just off the interstate in Cookeville. The pain behind all of these photos, a deep black hole that can only be filled with justice.
All of us here are a member of a club. We shouldn't have to be. There's no reason for us to be if they were doing their jobs.
Each one of these stories is so compelling, we're going to do complete investigations into each one of them. It's going to take some time, but these folks are used to waiting. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Putnam County District Attorney Bryant Dunaway, got back with Fox 17 News a few hours ago. He offered a lengthy and detailed explanation about each case, and you can find his unedited response at our website, fox17.com.
Okay, so we're on fox17.com, and Dunaway's response is, I have great sympathy for the family members who have lost loved ones to the criminal act or unfortunate, unavoidable circumstances. I often see the grief can be overwhelming. I pray for their peace among the family members of the following persons. The tragic murder of Courtney Cash occurred before my election, before the election of the Putnam County Sheriff. Ultimately, the murder of Courtney Cash, Wayne Marcella pled guilty to second-degree murder in prison today. The family has stated that to me that they feel like Austin Johnson should have been charged as well. The evidence does not support that position. Austin Johnson himself was stabbed by Marcella and received a punctured lung, almost losing his life. The office can only ethically charge and prosecute the persons for the criminal offenses where there is good faith belief. Evidence will support the conviction in the case. The evidence available indicted only Marcella, and being the murderer. Terry Sullivan. The investigation into the death of Terry Sullivan remains as an open investigation. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has and remains to be the lead investigating agency on the case. The TBI will continue to investigate any new leads for the information. We are always hopeful that his death will be involved in the investigation. Will be solved. Jason Rice. Mr. Rice was a pedestrian walking at night on a roadway in an area in Cookeville where there were no sidewalks. He was struck by a vehicle by Emmanuel Robinson. According to the Cookeville Police Crash Investigators, the impact occurred on the right side of the road in the driver's lane of travel. The calculated speed of the vehicle was approximately 34 miles an hour on a 30-mile-an-hour speed zone. While Robinson initially left the scene after the crash, he returned to the scene soon after. Robinson admitted to the officers that he had consumed alcohol that night. Officers arrested him on the scene for vehicular homicide. A blood draw was obtained by Robinson a few weeks after the arrest. The TBI crime lab delivered the results to the blood testing, which indicated his blood level was to be 0.30 to presumed impairment level on the state is 0.80. to prove the vehicular homicide case. It must be proven that the driver was both intoxicated and the intoxication was a prominent cause of the person's death. After receiving the findings of the TBI lab as well as the crash investigation, there was insignificant proof to support charges of vehicular homicide. So this guy killed somebody with his car and there's no justice. I don't understand how that works, but okay. Putnam County Sheriff, this is Brandon Hood. Putnam County Sheriff's Department responded to all suspect drug overdose. Upon arrival, Brandon Hood was found deceased. After performing an autopsy, the medical examiner determined that Mr. Hood had died from a drug overdose, specifically the combined toxic effect of fentanyl and methamphetamine. The medical examiner listed the manner of death as an accident. Investigators with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office opened an investigation into the circumstances of Mr. Hood's death in the hope that the identity of the person who delivered the drugs to Hood could be determined, and the location of Brandon's Hood death is known to have drug activity, but the witnesses were presented at the time of his death while suspects have been developed and insignificant evidence being criminal charges at this time. As always, the death investigations are always revisited if new information comes to light. This case is no exception. You know, like I said, guys, if you go onto my channel, I have a whole series on these cases. And I mean, if you take the time to go check out these cases, it'll break your heart. It'll absolutely break your heart, the injustice that these families have endured, and the missing people in Tennessee. This is unacceptable. These faces, and there's pages and pages of missing people. We pay taxes, we have lotteries, we have all the resources. Like I said, we have outside resources trying to reach in and help find missing people. Take the help. Take the help. I mean, and, as always, guys, never forgetting, you have Summerwells missing out of Tennessee, Hawkins County, too. So, it's heartbreaking. It's all over the United States. Absolutely heartbreaking. But I said I felt this was important to bring to my audience, my subscribers, my followers, my army here on YouTube. I said a dear friend of mine that is a victim of the murder billboard, her father is a victim, brought me this article, and I felt it was important to make sure that I shared this across my social media. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe, like, and share. It takes a village to raise a child. And guys, if you're not subbed up to the Real Crime Team, make sure you go hit up Sluggish Sleuth, Level Headed, Art of Fox, Checking Convictions, Darkness Exposed, and True Crime with Kit. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Guys, share the missing flyers. We work hard on the missing flyers. The team works hard on contacting the families. We're doing the best we can in an honest way to get these people's names out there and these families justice, where we can bring justice, bring the missing home, bring some closure and answers. So as I ask always, when you're in a live, when you're in a chat, remember that those are real people, real stories, and families that are there hurting the real pain. They're hurting big pain.